exposing Solar Warden, the secret space program, and you can find various videos with William Tompkins talking about this. He was supposedly one of the engineers who was designing the spacecraft. Since approximately 1980, the secret space fleet, codenamed Solar Warden, has been in operation unknown to the public. Darren Perk's investigative researcher reports, is this nonsense, or is it a conspiracy, or is it simply so sensitive that it will cause uproar around the world? These are my own words, he says, after conducting research into the secret program, whilst conducting a Freedom of Information FOIA request with the Department of Defense in 2010. He says, I had a very unexpected response to my email from them, which read this. About an hour ago, I spoke to a NASA rep who confirmed this was their program and that it was terminated by the president. He also informed me that it was not a joint program with the DoD. The NASA rep informed me that you should be directed to the Johnson Space Center FOIA manager. I have ran your request through one of our space-related directorates, and I'm waiting on one other division with a command to respond back to me. I will contact you once I have a response from the other division. Did NASA refer you to us? ? Now, the program not only operates classified under the U.S. government, but also under the United Nations Authority. So you might be wondering, how do I know this information? Well, there are a few people, and many others have tried hard to find out the truth and have succeeded by leaking information or simply asking questions, and have government departments slip up and give away information freely, just like what happened when Darren Perks asked the DoD. One notable contributor is Gary McKinnon. When Gary McKinnon hacked into the U.S. Space Command computers several years ago and learned of the existence of non-terrestrial officers and fleet-to-fleet transfers and a secret program called Solar Warden, he was charged by the Bush Justice Department with having committed, quote, the biggest military computer hack of all time, unquote, and stood to face the prison time of a term of up to 70 years after extradition from the UK. Gary McKinnon is a Brit. He's British. Now, but trying Ernest McKinnon in open court would involve his testifying to the above classified facts, and his attorney would be able to subpoena government officers to testify under oath about the Navy's space fleet. To date, the extradition of McKinnon to the U.S. has gone nowhere. McKinnon also found out about the ships or crafts within Solar Warden. It's said that there are approximately 8 cigar-shaped motherships, each longer than 2 football fields end to end, and 43 small scout ships. The Solar Warden Space Fleet operates under the U.S. Naval Network and Space Operations Command, NNSOC, formerly Naval Space Command. There are approximately 300 personnel involved at that facility, and the figure rising. Solar Warden is said to be made up of U.S. aerospace black projects contractors, but with some contributions of parts and systems by Canada, United Kingdom, Italy, Austria, Russia, and Australia. It's also said that the program is tested and operated from secret military bases, such as Area 51 in Nevada, U.S. So should we just write this off as utter nonsense? No, we shouldn't, and as time goes on, the truth will slowly come out. Many people around the world are now witnessing craft moving around the skies and subspace that completely defy gravity, whether they are part of the Solar Warden secret program, military experimental aircraft or not. Thousands of people know what they see. In my view, Solar Warden is very real and very strong possibility. So no, I don't think we should rule it out as a complete nonsense. Yes, it's a conspiracy because all of the hype and the controversy surrounding the facts and information about the program, sensitive is an understatement. This program would change the world and our views on space exploration and travel, so no wonder that it would be kept a big secret. We should at least keep in the back of our minds keep it all in the back of our minds, or at least for now. The secret space program built with alien technology. We now have the technology to take ET home, said Ben Rich, CEO of Lockheed Skunk Works. This was back in 1993. The story behind this quote is an interesting one. At a lecture held in 1993 at UCLA Alumni Center, Ben Rich, the former CEO of Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, held a speech about the advancement in space engineering during the previous 40 years. He concluded with a quote about taking ET home, while the final image in his slide presentation showed a black disk zipping out into outer space. Over the years, the Skunk Works division of Lockheed has designed and built a number of high-tech aircraft, such as the U-2, the SR-71 Blackbird, the F-22 Raptor, the F-117 Nighthawk. And taking this into account, some have drawn the conclusion that Rich alluded to advanced technology being secretly developed, and it might be responsible for some of the flying discs we see today. Seems too far-fetched? We're on the same page, but wait, it gets better. In 2001, British Systems Administrator Gary McKinnon hacked his way into 97 U.S. military and NASA computers. He intended to find top-secret files regarding free energy, but he stumbled upon something bigger than that. McKinnon claimed to have uncovered a spreadsheet containing names and information about non-terrestrial officers and transfers between fleets. He cross-referenced these names with the database of all U.S. Navy and military personnel, but was unable to find any of the officers. McKinnon therefore concluded that they were not of this world and labeled them as Space Marines, quote-unquote. In an interview with BBC, he said he had been motivated by the Disclosure Project because, quote, they are some very credible, relied upon people, all saying, yes, there is UFO technology, there's anti-gravity, there's free energy, and it's extraterrestrial in origin, and they've captured spacecraft and reverse engineered them, end quote. McKinnon was discovered just as he was examining the image of the UFO stored in a NASA computer at Johnson Space Center's Building 8, caught in 2002. He was facing up to 70 years in prison and several $1 million in fines. But the UK never extradited him to the US, and McKinnon managed to avoid prison. Some say that he was able to do so because he had amassed sensitive information that he used as leverage. He maintains his claim that extraterrestrial spacecraft have been captured and reverse engineered, and now the alien technology is being used by entities in our own figurative backyard. The Solar Warden program. This brings us to the Solar Warden. According to conspiracy theorists, Solar Warden is an ultra-secret project that maintains a fleet or several fleets of spaceships that are operating within our solar system. Some say they're defending us against alien threats. Others say they're involved in the covert colonization of space. Such a fleet would require technology way ahead of what we've currently got. In order to send manned missions into the far reaches of our solar system, we'd need exotic materials and propulsion systems. But there are some who claim we already have them. Quote, I suspect that in the last 60 years or so, that there has been some back engineering and the creation of this type of equipment that is not nearly as sophisticated yet as what the apparent visitors have, end quote. Dr. Edgar Mitchell, the sixth astronaut to walk on the moon, said this. Even so, who would have the coin required to fund such a venture? The United States black budget for 2014 amounted to some $52.6 billion. And they were planning on spending $58.7 billion this year, and this astronomical sum is not enough to fund or maintain a secret space fleet. And that's when conspiracy voices started mentioning the deep black budgets. As it turns out, there might be UFOs that were built on Earth based on technology that originated somewhere in the universe, and we might actually have a secret space fleet capable of interplanetary travel. This by Locklip, and it's on Humans Are Free. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.